Breaking news in the NBA and more bad news for Zion Williamson and the Pelicans. He's not going to be returning anytime soon. The team's saying today that he's going to continue his rehab work away from the team. He's yet to play this season after undergoing off-season foot surgery. Pelicans in the middle of a bad year without him. 23-35 this season, 3 games ahead of the Rockets for the worst record in the West. Let's bring in former NBA Coach of the Year, Avery Johnson. Avery, what does this tell you that Zion, not only is he not making progress, but he's going to continue to rehab away from the team?
Yeah, this seems like this could be somewhat of a disconnect between potentially the team, the medical staff, and Zion Williamson's team. A lot of times when you see situations like this, the signs of this just doesn't look good. Obviously, his rehab is now falling way behind schedule. The kid has always had, some weight issues. So this is a situation, if I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan, this is just not good news. It's not good news for Pelicans fans, the NBA, and he's sorely being missed on the court because this was a year that the Pelicans, were banking on making it to the playoffs. So this may be a situation where this may turn into to be a season-ending shutdown, especially if he can get back on the court, especially to get back on the court with his weight under control.
And at this point, Avery, with the season going like it has for the Pelicans, the second worst record in the Western Conference, and Zion still a ways out, I mean, would there be any reason to try to, I'm not going to say rush things, but to try to put him on a time frame to return when they could be way out of the playoff picture by then?
Yeah, Chris, I think you have to utilize the All-Star break as, kind of your time frame and your deadline on what you want to do and how you want Zion Williamson to come back to his team. If he's back in the lineup, right before All-Star break, then he can get a few days to rest during the break. You put him on a minute restriction. He can come back and get some synergy with especially some of the younger players on the team like Herb Jones, who's playing well, especially on the defensive end. Then you can consider that. But if this team is so far out of the playoffs that it would take 10 miracles for them to make the playoffs, then you got to think about shutting him down for the rest of the season.
13-25 is their record right now. They're 2.5 games out of the 10 spot in the West. But without Zion Williamson for, you would think at least another month, maybe more, likely more, they're probably going to slip even more than that. As this continues to go on and as these issues continue for Zion, his weight, the weight-bearing activities that they don't really want him to do because it is putting too much strain on that foot, how concerned are you that his NBA career could be, starting to slip a little bit?
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about that right now because he's still relatively, young player. I think if we're talking about this same situation this time next season, then I would really sound the red alarm. But right now, the kid's still young. A fractured foot, I think more than anything, Chris, he has got to get his weight under control. Because if you come back from a foot injury or a knee injury and you still have the same diet, the same body fat, weight, there are reports that this kid is north of 300 pounds. You're not going to be able to rehab appropriately if you can't get your weight under control. New Orleans is not the best place to try to be on a diet, by the way. That's going to you got to have some serious discipline when you're trying to lose weight and get your body under control. So maybe separating from the team, getting a change of scenery, changing the rehab program, maybe getting another second, third opinion on how the foot is healing might be the prescription for trying to get him back on track not just to get on the court, but to be able to get through a practice. If you can't get through a practice, you surely can't play in the game.
The news today, Zion Williamson is going to continue his rehab, but he's going to do it away from the team, away from the Pelicans, as he tries to return from that latest foot injury. Avery Johnson with us here on CBS Sports HQ as we look at the history for Zion Williamson. That, boy, he's missed a lot of games already with the torn meniscus to start, and then a couple of small injuries here and there in that second season, the toe, the thumb, the finger. But this year he's missed every game with that fractured foot.